Hello guys, it's D to the B for a very late review. So, I'd say like the beginning of the year, I saw Wonka. Now, this was a film that me and my friends were talking about back when my friend Full Metal Dipper was alive. Both didn't seem that interested in this movie, but I had some hope. I knew they could ruin it, but I still had some hope that they would make this movie good. And personally, for me, I actually really liked this movie. I liked the writing, I liked the songs. It's been a while since we've had a musical film that wasn't by Disney, and I really did enjoy this movie. From someone who saw Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, granted I did see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as well. I enjoyed both, but granted, it's been a while since I've seen the Charlie one. This movie was really good. For me, I like prequels. I always have. I don't hate the Hobbit movies. Except the last one. The last one of the Hobbit movies sucked. Like, really bad. And then I like the Star Wars prequels. So, I like prequels. I think they're really good. Now, not every prequel can be great. There are a few prequels that don't work in the franchise. But I feel like the prequels I've seen, they work. And Wonka is definitely one that I think it works. I think an example of a prequel that doesn't work was the recent Hunger Games prequel, or if that's even still coming out, but that's a whole different can of worms. So, Wonka is basically the story of how Willy Wonka started his chocolate factory. And he's traveling the town of Great Britain, and he wants to sell his chocolates. But, of course, things don't go well at first, and he loses all of his money because of his trip, and he has to stay at this hotel. The next day, he tries selling his chocolate, which his competitors say is awful, but secretly, they know it's good, but they want to make sure that Wonka doesn't stand in the way of their chocolate empire. So basically, a concept in this movie, for some reason, it's a little silly, but I like it. Apparently, there's these 3 chocolate companies, and they merged their chocolate together, and they've been watering down their chocolate to make a profit or something like that. And they've basically, bribed the Catholics into following in their power struggle, so then they can have immediate power. They have ties with the police, all that. And, of course, because of that, Wonka is still in the hotel, but he didn't read all the fine print of the contract he signed earlier, and basically is sent to labor work. But eventually, with the help of his friend Noodle, I can't remember, they basically find a way to sell the chocolate without getting in trouble. One thing I did find a little bit strange, but it could work, was the whole plot line of Wonka not being able to read. I found the plot point a little silly, because I think if Wonka couldn't have read, I think he would have mentioned the story about how he couldn't read, but then a friend of his, when he first started his first chocolate factory, would have helped him read and all that. So it feels a bit strange. It could work, but the plot line of him not being able to read just feels a bit off, if you know what I'm saying. But granted, it's been a while since I've read the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory book. Yes, I did read that book. The very first one, and I think the second one, actually. There was a third book that was in the works, but the author died before that happened. But that's a story for another time, maybe. And basically, the chocolate people have the chief basically set Wonka in his place, but that doesn't work. As I said, they figure out a way to sell chocolate by using the sewer ducts. Eventually, the apartment owners or the hotel owners basically sabotage Wonka's chocolate. They burn down his factory, all that. The chocolate factory people, or at least the higher ups, offer him money and all of his friends' money to escape. Well, to get out of the hotel, I should say. And they even go as far with Wonka as trying to kill him with an exploding boat, which was I did not see coming, but I sometimes I like exaggerated stuff. The gang gets back together, the main characters of the movie, which help Wonka start the chocolate factory, at least the first one, and then they fight the Catholics and the rich chocolate people. The chocolate people lose at the end, and Wonka establishes his new factory. We even get a plot line about this Oompa Loompa who wants vengeance at Wonka for stealing his chocolate. A funny little plot line that I actually liked, and somewhat established the Oompa Loompas working with Wonka. Of course, the question is, how did he get them all there? But granted, I don't know, maybe the other Wonka told, hey, let's go work for this guy. And that's basically the plot of Wonka. The reason this video wasn't that long and it was a bit rushed, usually I go in depth with my reviews, but this movie's pretty simple. I think for the most part, this movie works. It's not a political mess that I'm aware of. It's a movie that I actually enjoyed this year, even though I'm pretty sure it came out the year before. But I really enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I have to rate it 8 out of 10. I really liked this movie. Anyway, this is D2B signing off. Bye, everyone.